Hello, and welcome guests and class to the 2021 Virtual Graduation Ceremony at Bryan University. As the Master of Ceremonies, I am here to guide you through today's graduation ceremony. If you would, please stand at home for our national anthem, performed by our very own students, faculty, and staff.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, save us, that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
There once lived a man who aimed at starting 2 business ventures and had 0 success. When he was about to get married, his fiancée died, and he lost 8 times in different elections. In the midst of this, he was dealing with family members who had become sick, had nervous breakdowns, or perished. Against these odds, he became the President of the United States in 1860. This man is Abraham Lincoln. She lost her mother to multiple sclerosis, went from marriage to a miscarriage, to rumors of domestic abuse, and finally, signing the divorce and being a single mother. She was jobless, diagnosed with severe depression, and contemplated suicide. She was still rejected by 12 publishers, and it took over a year for someone to agree to publish the first Harry Potter book. This woman is J.K. Rowling. From the ghetto, making his first billion. He was raised in Compton, surrounded by gang violence. His early career was plagued with opposition and filled with poverty and worry at every single corner. He went from an underground artist to having his own record label and a headphones brand in under 10 years. This man was Dr. Dre. Hello, and welcome to the 2021 Virtual Graduation Ceremony at BU. My name is Nick Keeling, and I'm the Director of the Undergraduate Studies Programs. I mention the above success stories because it is important to know that earning and the conferring of a degree is only part of it. An opportunity, not a fast pass to success, has just presented itself. I need you to reach out and make the most you can of this. What is cut out from so many other stories is the notion of effort. People that graduate are people who are destined to maximize the chances of their success. They put in the very necessary effort and are strong enough to lift others around them up, not bring them down. With this comes incredible opportunity, unquestionable responsibility, and an important need for humility. Opportunity because doors will open up, promotions will come, balance will ensue, and success as you define it will become more and more realized. Responsibility because people will need your strength to hold them up. They will depend on you when they are suffering. When those are less fortunate need you, they will reach out to you for your support. The very same support that maybe you witnessed to get to this moment. The reflection of this hard work, the support, and the adoption of this responsibility is where you'll need to show great humility. Humility in accepting it wasn't easy, and in paying it forward to those who will now begin to see you a little bit higher or look up to you just a little bit more. There are few things in life which will grant you as much pride as this accomplishment. Enjoy the day. No thing or living soul can ever take this from you forever. As you engage in the next challenge of your life and things begin to get hard, because they will, I hope you remember what it took to get here and have that same desire, attitude, and most importantly, effort that will get you anywhere. It is with great honor and pride that I congratulate the 2021 graduating class of Bryan University. And now, I would like to introduce the president of Bryan University, Eric Evans.
Dear graduates, faculty, staff, family, and friends, thank you for joining us on this special occasion. We welcome you to the Bryan University graduation of 2021. I'm delighted to share a couple of thoughts with you today. And in fact, I'm going to share a story that I've shared with every class that has graduated before you. And my purpose in sharing this story is I believe to the core that every human ought to feel what it feels like to be confidently capable. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does confidently capable mean? Or what does it feel like? And I'm going to share with you today that our graduates know what that feels like. And I'm going to describe what that is and how one becomes confidently capable. In fact, confidently capable people, if we were to observe their behaviors, do things such as they continually develop skills and practices that enable them to be successful. They persist through hardship. They don't give up. In fact, not only do they lift themselves, but they also look towards their homes, towards their communities, towards their professions, and they help others discover what it feels like to be confidently capable in handling any type of situation that might present it in the differing roles we fill, whether a dad, whether a mom, whether a brother, whether a sister, whether a professional employee or an employer. All sorts of roles, and in terms of how we confidently and capably handle those successfully. To become confidently capable, I'm going to suggest there's 3 areas that help somebody discover what that feels like and become that. The first is beliefs. And by beliefs, I mean your attitudes, your perspective. And I'm going to focus on 2 areas that I believe are core within beliefs. One is called growth mindset, and the other is called deliberate practice. And we're going to unpack those in a story momentarily. The second is skills. If you believe you can develop things and you identify those skills and you develop those skills, then those skills can be honed in terms of practices that then you can use to benefit yourself, benefit your employer, or benefit those whom you surround yourself with. And I'm going to share now a story regarding those 3 areas, but I'm going to focus in on one in particular because I believe, or I'm going to put forth, that your beliefs, your attitude is the primary driver behind skill development and perfecting your practices. Now, my son, Logan, when he was in I believe 4th or 5th grade, he came home one day with a C on a math test. And what happened next really surprised me as a father because as he showed me his test, I asked a question like any dad would do, hey, what happened? And his response immediately was, well, Dad, you don't appreciate me, you don't love me, and stormed off to his room. To my surprise, as I sat there and reflected a bit, like how come he reacted that way, I went and found him and we sat down and discussed a bit. And as I asked him questions in terms of what happened or why are you feeling that way, he shared, Dad, I just don't think I'm smart enough. I don't think I'll ever get math. And as a parent and as one human to another, my heart sank because the greatest gift we all have is our mind. And here was a young man that didn't realize that he can apply his mind to do anything. And so that's when I first learned a lesson around how important beliefs are regarding to becoming confidently capable. And in this perspective, Logan, my desire was that he would become confidently capable in mathematics. And so we started with 2 core principles, growth mindset, the belief that if I try, I can get better. Really simple. All of you probably know that, but just think about that for a minute. The second was if I practice and if I get feedback from folks that understand this better than I do, that if I apply and I'm coachable, that I can become better. And for the better part of 2 years, we started to practice those beliefs. That if I try, I get better, and if I work with others that know more than I do, and I'm coachable, I can become good at math. And guess what happened? He became confidently capable in math. In fact, he not only became confidently capable, but he started to enroll in advanced math classes, and he started to become top of his class. And now the labels that he would give himself are, I'm smart. And I propose to each of you today that our graduates have learned those same principles, that they know what growth mindset is, and they have felt what it feels like to have a growth mindset. Not only that, but they have practiced and they've taken the feedback from professional faculty and have applied it in a way that developed not only their learning skills, but also their professional skills that they will now use to go out into the world to bless themselves and their surroundings and their communities and their homes, wherever they might be within this great United States. Now, I'm going to leave each of you with a charge because you know what it feels like to be confidently capable. You have a growth mindset. You've used deliberate practice to develop your skills and your practices. And I want you to, number one, continue that, to recognize the process you went through and build your skills, build your practices in your profession, in your communities, so that you can be a benefit and drive your own future. And then secondly, I challenge you to recognize or be aware of those around you that might not be confidently capable and help them realize or discover what a growth mindset feels like, what deliberate practice with a coach feels like, and help them move along that process to have that particular mindset, to develop those skills and hone in their practices so they too can feel what it feels like to be confidently capable. And I know if we do that, not only will you, number one, drive your future forever without doubt, with full confidence of what you can accomplish, but also you'll make your home and communities a better place. Thank you so much again for joining us today. I'm so very proud of the accomplishments and the endeavors that each of you have done in your educational journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. It is with great pride that I introduce you to our 2021 student speaker, Penny Green. She graduates today with her certificate in business administration.
When the opportunity to speak at graduation arose, I talked myself out of it more times than I could count. After all, who would want to hear my story and about my experience? And then I thought that if just one person listening could relate, then it would be worth it. I'm sure our stories mirror one another to some extent. It all began with the should-I's and the can-I's, and when we were asked to dig deep and find our why, for me that was simple. That's my daughter Eli. I couldn't stress the value of an education if I didn't have one. So for me, the audio had to match the video. I also had to prove to myself that the naysayers were wrong, because after all, their opinion of me is none of my business. So no matter your why, congratulations on making the choice to invest in yourself. My journey at Bryan began last October, and little would I know, 2 weeks later, I would encounter a huge roadblock. While I was at work, finishing a learning, I got a phone call from my best friend's girlfriend, letting me know she was gone. What I heard next caused tears I was certain would never end. How could she commit suicide? Her choice made me question all of mine, because how could I do this without my best friend? And then I remembered help was just an email away. I was assured that whatever I needed, I had the backing of the entire staff of Bryan University. So with tear-stained cheeks, I submitted my very first PowerPoint presentation. And I was not intimidated by technology anymore. It was also in that moment that I realized my support system grew. Some of you might not like Yellow Dig, but for me, it became my therapy. I had peers turned friends, I had an audience to listen, and I had a bonded study group of cheerleaders, and for that I am thankful. With me feeling like I had a stronger footing, I was pumped, motivated, and encouraged. How could I not be? I'd overcome the emotion of losing my best friend and realized there were new ones on this journey with me. And then there was the big P, the pandemic. We as a country and a world were basically flying the plane as we were building it, as we navigated these uncharted times. And never in a million years would I have thought I'd face the next obstacle, Excel. I'm serious. If I never use it again, I'm so okay. But the greatest lesson I learned came from this course and my Excel professor. And it wasn't how to make spreadsheets. It was that sometimes perseverance is more important than the grade you get. So back to this pandemic. Nearly 6 months after I lost my best friend, I ended up in the hospital with double pneumonia and COVID. And let me tell you, I would rather have an operation without anesthesia than go through that again. I'm serious. But in the immortal words of Ken Jeong, but did you die? Well, and obviously I didn't. But once again remembered that help was just an email away. And from the beaches of Mexico, a past professor reached out to my success coach, and together they helped me put in for a leave of absence. I'd like to say that a lesser person may not have been able to handle what happened next. My daughter had to be admitted to the hospital, and if that wasn't bad enough, the day she was admitted, I got a call from my fiance's father telling me that earlier that morning he had passed away. COVID-3, penny zero. I am the forever optimist, and with that said, I believe that storms don't always come to destroy. Sometimes they just clear a path. Once back in classes, I had to reconfigure my study schedule and constantly change it to accommodate my health, and it wasn't always easy. Months after my release from the hospital, I still deal with fatigue, depression, and brain fog. I'm better than I was, and my daughter is too. Our COVID experiences brought us together, and we choose to live in the light and stay positive. With all the bad, I still choose to find the happy. My inner circle has stayed the course, always pick up the phone when I call, and continue to love me even when I'm crazy trying to balance school and life. At my lowest point, there was someone there who loved me through the ugly, a faithful friend for over 30 years throughout all the chapters of my life. He valued me and showed me my worth. You were unexpected and definitely the great love of my life. So why did I want to speak at graduation? It's simple. I overcame, I grew, I never gave up, even though it would have been easy to. I epitomize what Bryan stands for. We epitomize what Bryan stands for, and are all connected through our experiences. So as your story evolves, remember the only thing stopping you from success is you. As for me, today I receive a certificate, and I don't know about you, but I think that's worth celebrating.
Thank you, Penny, for sharing your journey and inspiring remarks. Next, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Bryan Bogert. Bryan is a husband and father, passionate performance coach, motivational speaker, business strategist, top sales professional, and philanthropic leader who believes in helping growth-minded individuals achieve the best version of themselves, their most authentic selves. Owner and founder of Bryan Bogert Companies and I Am No Limits, Bryan and his team led with intentionality as they are driven by their vision to impact 1 billion lives by 2045. Before moving full-time to coaching peak performers and public speaking, he and his business partners led the Phoenix location of a global insurance brokerage firm where in just a decade they grew the revenue from $250,000 to $15 million. Bryan has earned accolades as a top performer in the Southwest and was named as one of 40 under 40 in the Phoenix Business Journal for his innovative and dynamic leadership. Please welcome Bryan Bogert.
Congratulations and thank you. My name's Bryan Bogert, and I am absolutely honored, and it's my pleasure to be here to congratulate all of the class of 2021 on the work, the effort, the perseverance to get your education complete. You know, what's drawn me to Bryan University is not only my special relationship with one of your own, but the fact that you guys have a really unique mission. The way that you operate, the way that you target people, and really what the student demographics look like. The fact that Bryan University exists to challenge the boundaries of traditional education and liberate innate greatness in people is something that aligns very deeply for me in my life. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that I am also aware of your graduation theme, which is to overcome today's challenges for a better tomorrow. I'm a big believer in teaching through lesson, through story. And so in this talk today, we're going to uncover 3 specific lessons. And because we only have 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to talk fast and try to cram as much value as I possibly can into this time. I'm going to start with a story. And I want everybody to close their eyes for just 1 minute. And I want you to imagine going to a store, having a successful shopping trip, breezing through the checkout line, walking out the doors, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, the breeze through your hair. You've got a little pep in your step. You're ready to go on with your day. As you're coming up to your car, you reach down in your pocket to fumble for your keys to unlock and go on with your day. And you turn your head and you see a truck barreling 40 miles an hour right at you with no time to react. Go ahead and open your eyes. That's where this portion of my story begins. My mom, my brother, and I went to our local Walmart to pick up a 1-inch paintbrush. Anybody who's known me for more than 2.5 minutes has seen that I've got an excitement and vigor for life. So of course, I was the first one in the car. I wanted to put that paintbrush to use. But see, this was back in the days before key fobs. So I had to wait for my mom and brother to catch up, pull the keys out, stick the key in the door, and unlock so we go on with our day. And as I was standing there waiting, a truck pulled up in front of the store. The driver and the middle passenger parked and got out, and the passenger all the way to the right felt the truck moving backwards. So he did what any one of us would do. Scooted over to put his foot on the brake, but he instead hit the gas. Combination of shock and force threw him up on the steering wheel, up on the dashboard, and before you know it, he's catapulting 40 miles an hour across the parking lot right at us with no time to react. Now we were in an end spot, so he goes up over the median, up over the tree in the median, hits our car, knocks me over, runs over me diagonally, tearing my spleen, leaving a tire track scar on my stomach, and continuing on to completely sever my left arm from my body. There I am laying on the parking lot, August 10th, 1992, 6:10 p.m., 115-degree day. Mom and brother watch the whole thing happen. They look up and they see my arm laying 10 feet away. Fortunately for me, my guardian angel also saw the whole thing happen. See, there was a nurse that walked out of the store right at this time, and she saw the literal life and limb scenario that was in front of her, and she rushed immediately into action. I'm forever indebted to this woman for choosing to do that instead of turning to go on with her day. She came over and stopped the bleeding on the main wound and saved my life, and instructed some innocent bystanders to run inside, grab a cooler, fill it with ice, and get my detached limb on ice to give me a fighting chance of having a reattached limb. Had she not done one or both of those things, I either wouldn't be here with you all today, or I'd be here with you today with a cleaned up stump. That's just the reality. Now, I know that's probably not what you were expecting at a graduation talk. I realize that I have an extremely unique story. But what I've also realized in all of my time of doing this is that we all have unique stories. What's important is that we pause and become aware of the lessons we can extract from those stories, and they become intentional with how do we apply them into our lives. And we all have the ability to do that, and we all have the ability to do that and tap into the collective wisdom of other people's stories to shorten our own curve to learning. So I'm going to hit 3 primary lessons today. We're going to go through them relatively fast, but I think you're going to see why these are relevant and how they're going to help propel you for the rest of your life. You see, the first is that I actually learned that most of the lessons I need are actually within me and my life, not just in my past, but in my present. I learned very, very early to not get stuck by what has happened to me, but instead get moved by what I can do with it. And one of my greatest life lessons I didn't realize for a lot of years. You see, at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, although I was the one having surgeries, although I was the one having to go through all of the therapy for recovery, I was also being guided through the process. So I was a little bit in a fog. My parents, however, were not. You see, they were intimately aware of the unceasing medical treatments, years of physical therapy, and the idea of seeing their son grow up without the use of his left arm was a source of great potential suffering. So they literally willed themselves day in and day out to do what was necessary, to do what was tough, to embrace the pains required to ultimately strengthen and heal me. So whether it was intentional or not, what they did was they ingrained in me a philosophy and a way of living, which was to embrace pain to avoid suffering. And I believe that when this is done correctly, that's also where we gain freedom, which is why all of our entities are on a mission focusing on helping people become more aware, more intentional, and who they already are, their most authentic selves. Because we believe that that is what's going to allow joy, freedom, and fulfillment to enter into the world holistically. That's what's going to allow people to stand on their own 2 feet, not only confident, but convicted in who they are, helping us create a world where people won't just be accepted, but embraced based on who they are. So these are going to be the themes that we talk about today. We're going to start with pain. Here's the thing about pain. It is absolutely impossible to measure independent of the person experiencing it, with one exception: the universal human experience. We are guaranteed to experience pain. You see, and the world tells us to literally reduce, eliminate, or avoid pain. And I'm telling you, the world is wrong. Don't buy into that narrative. But it makes sense, see? Because pain typically is an indication that we need to survive, or we need to fight, or we need to run away. We cut our leg 100 years ago, we might die. But that's not our reality anymore. So pain's defined as short-term, intermittent, a direct cause from something, and alleviated once that direct cause is removed. But then we as human beings put adjectives in front of it and kind of ruin the definition. We put acute in front of it and chronic in front of it. Acute maintains the definition, but chronic inherently changes it because it implies it's no longer short term and it persists even after the direct cause is removed. Let's start calling that what it actually is, suffering. We don't want to admit that suffering exists, particularly when it's a direct result of our choices. Pain gets lots of attention, whereas suffering often creeps up on us until sometimes its effects are irreversible. The root of most suffering, in my opinion, is rooted in 4 things. The things that are left unsaid, the things we don't feel we have permission to feel or say, the things we don't have the words to articulate, and the things that are left undone. So let's understand this concept. We can embrace the pain of hitting the gym for 30 minutes a day to avoid the suffering of aches and pains from sedentary lifestyle. We can embrace the pain of a difficult conversation with a loved one or spouse to avoid the suffering of being stuck in a loveless marriage that's going to end in divorce, or being stuck in a marriage when we actually want divorce. We can embrace the pain of the fit our kids are sure to throw by having them put down their mobile devices at the dinner table to avoid the suffering of years of lost meaningful connection and conversation we won't ever get back. You've already embraced the pains, many of you having different life experiences, different paths and trajectories. Many of you coming back to school 20 years later than the traditional path. You've embraced the pains required to avoid the suffering of not ever having the education that will put you at the table to make sure that you can survive and thrive in your life. You see, this concept applies to everything we do. So it's important that we understand these basic things, and it's really in these few moments of understanding what are the proper pains we need to embrace along our path to success. I'm not asking you to just embrace pain for pain's sake or to lean into pain just for the sake of pain. It's only where pain will help close the gap between where you are today and where you want to be. So that leads us to one of our next thoughts, is this idea of being stuck. See, here's the thing. We've all been stuck. We will all be stuck again. It's just not okay to remain stuck. What I have found is that oftentimes people believe that they're stuck because they have the wrong combination of strategy and tactics in their life. And in the hundreds of high-performing individuals, entrepreneurs, successful business leaders that we have worked with, what is very clear is it is not the wrong strategy and tactics. Though they're important, they only get you so far. What keeps people stuck and circling the drain and repeating those same patterns in their life is a combination of emotional triggers, behavioral patterns, and environmental conditioning. You see, again, the world tells us to reduce, eliminate, or avoid pain. They also tell us to mask our emotions. They mask how we feel. If we don't feel, we do not heal. And so all I'm asking you to do is lean in and pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your emotional triggers, behavioral patterns, environmental conditioning. How are they making you feel? How are you showing up? How are they keeping you stuck? And then the last thing I want to hit on with this is how do we move through being stuck? We can create AI. We can literally create patterns to better connect with people. We can better understand how do we enter into the world. How do we create systems and processes to allow us to see the world more clearly? How do we make better connections? Because that's what we all want is human connection. Oh, by the way, when I say AI, I'm not talking about artificial intelligence. I'm talking about awareness and intentionality. If you had one focus every single day, which was to find a way to raise your level of awareness and raise your level of intentionality, you will be more successful and you will find yourself getting unstuck. Why is this so important? Our minds process 11 million bits of information per second, but we're only consciously aware of about 40, which is why so many of us feel like victims, feel like fate, feel like we have no influence and control over our destinies. If we raise our level of awareness and we go through a systematic process of moving the unconscious to the conscious, the unaware to the aware, then all of a sudden we have influence and control over our destinies. We get to live the life based on our terms. We get to be who we were before the world told us who to be. And that's all I want you all to do is lean into you. Which brings us to one of our final concepts. Your life is your greatest teacher, should you choose to invest the time to analyze it. You know, I hate when I lack awareness, when I'm blind, because for me, it suggests that the demands of my environment are exceeding my ability to cope, and it means that I need to slow down to see things clearly. 3 words that guide my life are trust, surrender, breathe. That roots me in the now, that roots me in the awareness, that roots me in the intentionality. Again, the lessons from our lives are our greatest teachers should we choose to become aware and intentional with them. So how are you creating awareness in your life? How are you creating intentionality in your life? See, the faster that we can become aware and extract from our experiences, the faster that we can absolutely be intentional to make sure to remove the resistance and energy drain in our lives and make sure that we can get ahead of unanticipated or unintentional damage as a result of the way we react in situations, the more quickly that we become free, the more quickly we get to experience joy, freedom, and fulfillment in our lives. And that is often going to be a case of putting ourselves in the place to see ourselves and our lives more clearly. So please stop looking outside for all the answers from this point forward. Recognize that everything you need is already in you and your life. The question is, are you going to take the time to discover it? You have put yourself on a path to elevate and empower your life, the lives of those that you're doing this for. So you've gotten more clarity on who you are, who you're doing this for, and you're getting clarity even more on who you choose to impact. Stay rooted in the who before what. And I promise you, this is the path that's going to allow you to be free. Understand your pains, feel in order to heal, extract the lessons from your life, and give yourself the path and the tools so that you no longer will be stuck in your life. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I wish you all the very best and continue putting good in the world. Be great and be you.
Thank you, Bryan, for those inspiring words. I would like to take this time to thank all the support staff, the faculty, and the coaches for the time and effort they gave to assist and lift our student body when they needed it most. Students, you would always do the heavy pushing, but we can all appreciate the support team on the other end of the rope doing the pulling to help nudge you through the finish line. And now the reading of the names. On behalf of the faculty at Bryan University, I am honored to present to you the candidates for our certificate, associate, and bachelor degree programs. And to begin, I turn the mic over to your program directors to say a few words.
Thank you, Nick. And welcome, graduates, friends, and family. What a journey. Look how far you've come. Do you remember when you thought that HIPAA was a girl hippo? Grads, do you remember when you thought that I-10 was the name of just another interstate? Now when you hear I-10, you know you don't have hypertension because you're not trying to capture the correct ERG. Or the tears and the pain from the trailblazer when trying to perform E&M audits. Remember, no matter who you are or what you do, there's a code for that. Now, HIM students, you have a whole new appreciation for data management and data digging, because now when you hear root cause, you know it's not a conversation about beets or sweet potatoes. You know that PPE is not just personal protective equipment, but the ever-scaring professional practicum experience where you put everything you learned into your projects. You put all your knowledge of working in groups, virtually, on-site, and planning skills to make it through to the summit. So thank you for your dedication. And honestly, it wouldn't be fun if I didn't give you one last coding scenario. Student arrives at graduation exhausted. Coded as T73.3XSD, exhaustion due to overexertion. Place of occurrence, college. Now, it is my pleasure to announce the Bryan University 2021 graduates of the healthcare programs.
Balkish M. Abdul Rahman, Associates in Health Information Management. Hannah Ali, Associates in Health Information Management. Daisy Almanza, Associates in Health Information Management. Hadaleh Al-Shami, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Nicole Estelle, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Sarah Babcock Russell, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Kristen Baer, Associates in Health Information Management. Ashley Barger, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie Barnes, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Brandy L. Bassett, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Joanne Bassett, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tara N. Bates, Associates in Health Information Management. Maria Benjamin, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Gretchen Billingsley, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Marie P. Blacklock, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Patricia Blacklock, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Molly Blake, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Teria Bolton, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Anita Bonneau, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Lori Bowen, Associates in Health Information Management. Angela A. Bowman, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Karen Bowman, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Michelle and Boyer, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Danielle Bradley, Associates in Health Information Management. Emily Brennan, Associates in Health Information Management. Tri-Stein Bryant, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Pauline Brooke, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tanya R. Brown, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tana R. Burchett, Associates in Health Information Management. Brooke L. Buresh, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Wayne Burke Baker, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Andy L. Bustamante, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Victoria Caffey, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jamie R. Campa, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Dawn Cantel, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Bethany S. Carmen, Associates in Health Information Management. Corinne A. Caramano Gerhard, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jessica R. Carpenter, Associates in Health Information Management. Amanda I. Carter, Associates in Health Information Management. Kimberly R. Carvin, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Esther Cass, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Federico Cedillo, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Wendy Cedillo, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie J. Sellier, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie Chavez, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Victoria E. Clark, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Anna Olivia D. Connolly, Associates in Health Information Management. Imoni Cook, Associates in Health Information Management. Taylor L. Cooper, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Serena Covarrubias, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Lenicia Cox, Associates in Health Information Management. Lindsay R. Criswell, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amy E. Crooks, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Josephine Crum, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Latrice Cunningham, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Samantha G. Cunningham, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jessica L. Curtis Fires, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Ashton Davies, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Erica Davis, Associates in Health Information Management. Whitney Deason, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Maria DePina, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tiffany Dietrich, Associates in Health Information Management. Lisa DeVilbus, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Anna Maria D. Pace-Geralds, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Krista Douglas, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Marina El Naoui, Associates in Health Information Management. Kale Shaw Elbert, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Maria Magdalena Espinoza, Associates in Health Information Management. Jessica Evans, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Rowena Fainer, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. April Farr, Associates in Health Information Management. Lord Phillip, Associates in Health Information Management. Melissa L. Fish, Associates in Health Information Management. Evelyn C. Flores, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Alexis M. Farr, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Asia S. Fox, Associates in Health Information Management. Bailey G. Fox, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Ria Gonzalez, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Brooklyn Grant, Associates in Health Information Management. Carrie B. Green, Associates in Health Information Management. Leslie M. Griego, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie M. Grissett, Associates in Health Information Management. Ashley Grunwald, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tiffany Gutierrez, Associates in Health Information Management. Dana Haley, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jessica M. Harris, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Karen Harvey, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Rachel Hernandez, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Juanita T. Hogan, Associates in Health Information Management. Amber R. Hortvet, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Mick L. Hubler, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Madison Ivory, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Leilani Jackson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Mary L. Janis, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Emerald Jewel, Associates in Health Information Management. Sarah J. Johnson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Shireen Jordan, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Sean M. Keene, Associates in Health Information Management. Jennifer Kirschner, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Carolyn Knight, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Natasha Kaupko, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate.
Hi, my name is Natasha Kodako, and I want to thank Bryan University for helping me achieve my goal.
Ashley N. Lewis, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jennifer R. Losh, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Kayla M. Luna, Associates in Health Information Management. Shannon K. Madden, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Melissa Maggard, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jessica Matzi, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Christine McCarthy, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jennifer W. McDaniel, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Megan C. McFadden, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Dawn Medina, Associates in Health Information Management. Elizabeth Melendez, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Demiqua Million, Associates in Health Information Management. Tahia Minto Jackson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Marian Mitrevsky, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie L. Moody, Associates in Health Information Management. Kimberly K. Moore, Associates in Health Information Management. Alejandra Ines Morales, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate.
Graduation is here. Whew, I made it. Thanks to Autumn, Jordan, Mom, and Dad for everything that you've done to support me. I appreciate your help. Thank you, and I love you. Mwah.
Heather J. Morgan, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Mackenzie L. Morgan, Associates in Health Information Management. Shantae Morgan, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Terry Morrison, Associates in Health Information Management. Alyssa A. Mullinox, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie Navarro, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jennifer Nelson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Wendy O'Neill, Associates in Health Information Management. Maria Oristiada, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amy Overstreet, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Zarita H. Paget, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Latanya Paguandas, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Catherine R. Parrish, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Kimberly Y. Parsley, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Linda Pasquale, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Michelle R. Perron, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amanda Peterson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tina Peterson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Alicia Pitts, Associates in Health Information Management. Beverly Polk, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Verna Renee Preston, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Bridget A. Price, Associates in Health Information Management. Delisha R. Price, Associates in Health Information Management. Mary E. Price, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amy L. Quinn, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Michelle L. Rahal, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amber Ransom, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Rachel L. Reading, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Bobby Reed, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Lisa M. Reed, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Brenda Relaford, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Lisa Reynolds, Associates in Health Information Management. Mel Lori L. Write-Up, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Susan Regal, Associates in Health Information Management. Maria M. Rios, Associates in Health Information Management. Genevieve Robinson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Michelle Robinson, Associates in Health Information Management. Erin M. Rondo, Associates in Health Information Management. Autumn Rose, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Spencer Salami, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Alina Sanchez, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Caitlin Sauer, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tawanda Saunders Christian, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Carrie Savage, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Stephanie Selby, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Krislyn Surpass, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Vashti Shouty, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Lisa J. Sillins, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jennifer E. Silva, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Lonnie Sims, Associates in Health Information Management. Alice Smith, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Andrea Smith, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Sierra Snapples, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Robert Snow, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Anne-Marie J. Southland, Associates in Health Information Management. Amanda Starcher, Associates in Health Information Management. James Stevens, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Patricia Stevens, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Brittany Stein, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Bailey Strickland, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Catherine M. Swenson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Kelly Tarrer, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Michelle Taylor, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Rachel Thomas, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Yolanda Thomas, Associates in Health Information Management. Rebecca A. Threadgill, Associates in Health Information Management. Marie Two Bears, Associates in Health Information Management. Christina Valdez, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Kristen M. Valenti, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Brandy Vedraska, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Haley C. Vestal, Associates in Health Information Management, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tricia Verbka, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amanda Wallace, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Brittany Ward, Associates in Health Information Management. Shauna C. Ward, Associates in Health Information Management. Tamika Warren, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Antoinette Washington, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tovey M. Watkins, Associates in Health Information Management. Misty C. Weigel, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Anna Maria Wenzel, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jennifer D. Wesley, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Devin Westcott, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Crystal Whitley, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Amanda L. Wickard, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Jessica R. Wilder, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Tricia Wilson, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Michaela Jane Wolf, Associates in Health Information Management. Ashley Wood, Associates in Health Information Management. Amy Worthley, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Candace B. Wrinkle, Medical Billing and Coding Certificate. Hadassah Israel, Associates in Health Information Management.
As the butterflies in your stomach begin to turn, and as you realize the time is nearing to shift your tassels to the side, I'd like to once again stress the gravity of your accomplishment. This type of thing does not come easy or cheap, but the leverage you acquire through the pursuit of a degree is one that can never be taken from you. It is up to you and all that you have learned and will continue to learn, which will contribute to the world positively. We believe in education as a powerful tool against crime, poverty, low wage, and habitual underemployment. You and you alone possess the key to unlocking the future version of yourselves. You can continue to overcome today's challenges for a better tomorrow and achieve greater than you ever dreamed you could. It is with the highest honor that I congratulate you, the graduating class of 2021.
And now for the conferring of degrees. Graduates at home, please stand. As president of Bryan University, and on behalf of the faculty, I am happy to confer upon you publicly the earned diplomas and degrees for which you have been presented, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The Bryan University staff, faculty, and our guests share in congratulating our graduates. We thank everyone for joining us today for celebrating their academic accomplishments. Graduates, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, you did it.